Hey guys, I'm Richard Fitzgerald. This is Dubai Works, where we interview the business leaders making a difference in this great city.
That business with scalability was very interesting to me.
I like building something that has legacy.
Welcome back to another episode of Dubai Works Business Podcast. This week on Dubai Works, we're joined with Dave Catudal, the founder of Humantra. They are a global wellness brand on a mission to put thriving health and optimal performance within reach for everyone. They produce simplified supplements to help people take ownership of their health and well-being. So today we're going to be talking about what exactly is Humantra, the supplements industry and the competition, and also the stage of the company and how they're growing. So good morning, Dave.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Great. So welcome, and tell us a little bit about Humantra and how you came up with the idea.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, look, Humantra is a new brand. We literally launched a week ago.
Oh, wow.
And it's
very
actually,
new.
Yeah, well, so new. In fact, we haven't even really considered ourselves launched. We're holding back and saving our launch for the new year. We're in testing phase right now, and just really making sure that we have our systems in play before we really press go on the global reach that we want to have.
So soft launch, beta.
Soft launch beta, yeah. Already finding some holes in the system, some areas that we could streamline or improve our experience, and that's what this is all about, really, is just making sure that when we do go live on a global scale, that everything is just seamless.
Okay, and the idea for the business is?
So I've been in the health business for 20 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I'm 39 now. I started when I was 19, like personal training, of course, as the journey begins. Went into nutrition. I had cancer myself, so that changed a lot of things in my trajectory of how I looked at nutrition. And I found that supplements were a massive tool for, improving your immune system and taking control of your own body. But at that time, this was 15 years ago, all supplement brands were doing the same thing. They were all selling, the pre-workouts, the proteins, the creatines, and all the muscle building. And there was no wellness per se, really. That was not really mainstream. And so that prompted me to start creating supplements that were plant-based, that were all based on helping your body to mediate inflammation and essentially to enhance your immune function. Fast forward to where we are today, I no longer formulate for other companies. We started our own. So my last supplement company was called Transcend, and when I came to Dubai to expand that, I met some incredible partners that said, hey, why don't we do something different? We want to take your brain, your knowledge, your passion for helping people, and we want to turn that into a supplement brand and give it global reach. And so here we are today.
Amazing. So I love that journey and that story. When was that? When did you come to Dubai with the other company?
I came 2.5 years ago, so it was April 2019.
Yeah.
Yes.
And when you're involved in a company like you were before, how hands-on were you? Did you know about what goes into making supplements, or was it more about kind of distribution? And
yeah, great question. So I don't have an MBA. I don't have any formal. I've been self-employed since I was 19, right? So basically, self-employed and entrepreneurial for 20 years, but you don't really realize what it takes to build a business until you say, I'm going to start a business. And I knew supplements better than most, but how, and even selling to a certain degree. But then there's so many more elements of business. Cash flow. I didn't know what a P&L was at first. It was hilarious. People were asking me, can I see your P&L? And I'm like, what's that? I had no idea. I had to learn all the lingo. And so this was 6 years ago. And that journey in the last supplement industry confirmed a few things. One, that the supplement industry is massive and has not evolved and has a lot of issues in it. So that's one thing. So I addressed there's a major issue in the supplement industry and major opportunity. And then two, I realized I need a team. So I cannot do this alone. When you're onto something good and you have a great product and you have a great mission, don't try to do it yourself. That's what I learned. So the first company was basically a little sandbox for me to test things out.
That was when you set up as well?
Yeah.
You were, okay.
This was pre-Dubai. This was pre-Dubai. But interestingly, most of my customers were from Dubai. So I was living in Thailand at the time. I was one of those digital nomads, like keeping the burn rate low, to be able to do what I was doing, and making good money. You know, we did $250,000 US in the third year, just solo. And I was like, hey, we're onto something here. You know, this could work. Then came to Dubai to find the right strategic partners, and things kind of progressed and evolved from there.
Interesting. But what's happened to that company? Is this been put into this new company?
No, that dissolved and started fresh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so when you come to Dubai, how did you find those partners? I think I read, were you part of the Huda Beauty investments, or is that linked?
That's it's linked, but that's still being
confidential.
That's still confidential. But that's the exciting part. So this is part of our big launch, right? Everything's more strategic now.
Okay.
So how it happened, and it's a great story because this shows an entrepreneur when you have a great product and you have a great mission, just to stay true to that, and you can't tell what your future is going to be, right? Like any 5-year plan, honestly, I've never seen very many 5-year plans go to plan, right?
True.
So I came here with one plan, and then some very special people tried my old product. They said, hey, this is a great supplement. Wow, the benefits. And then we met personally, and then one thing led to another. So that's the connection. Then I'm currently an entrepreneur in residence at HB Investments under the family office of the Catudal family. And we are, revealing that to the world soon.
Okay, brilliant. We'll hold it back on that then.
Yeah, exactly. Next question. Carry on.
All right. And Dave, what does Humantra, where does the name come from?
So, all right. So
Human mantra, is it?
Yeah, no, I mean, exactly. So one of the main things is, again, from my own health challenges and from being a coach and watching and listening to other people with their health challenges, we realize, like, we're all human, experiencing the same challenges, and we have similar goals. We want to succeed. We're subjected to pressure, expectations. We have the same pollution to deal with. We have the same environment to deal with. So there's this lack of compassion, really, and human. So the essence that we're all connected. That's the human. And then mantra is a little bit more business minded. Like I look at mantra as you are what you repeatedly do. Right?
Yeah.
So it's your habits. It's your inner dialogue. It's what you're telling yourself. Do you have a success mindset or like a victim mindset, like poor me? So human, we're all having the same experience here. We're all working towards the same common goal. And then mantra is like, just remember, you are what you repeatedly do. So with supplements, with nutrition, you know, eating a great meal is not going to make you a healthy person, or taking a supplement for a month is not going to, you know, make you. So it's what we do repeatedly, and that's what we want to instill as habits.
Okay, so it's again a lifestyle type brand.
100% a lifestyle brand, exactly.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And is it just supplements, or is there? So not that I mean, is it just supplements? But how do you define it?
Yeah, no.
Is it a digital native vertical brand, or how would you define it?
So, what I love about Humantra and our partnership we have with these amazing investors and partners is, we acknowledge, so yes, we're a supplement company first and foremost, but our mission is education, right? We acknowledge that people are confused. Most people are taking supplements, they have no idea what they're taking or why they're taking it, or they were recommended by this guy, but this person has a totally different lifestyle. So one of the main things with Humantra is, like, we are an education company, which allows us room to evolve into multiple streams. So yes, our first entry into the market is a supplement, but we already have our eyes on what does the wellness industry need? You know, where can our expertise and our desire to help, where can that first find a market and monetize and be of value to people? So we're really open-minded to where we're going to grow into, knowing that we make damn good supplements, and that's where we're starting.
Okay, interesting. And so can you describe the supplements?
Sure. Now the first one, and in fact I have one for you here. Again, I'm a nutritionist and a nerd, right? So I'm analyzing blood reports a lot.
Wow.
And I'm looking at blood, and the blood doesn't lie. It gives you hints, and most people are dehydrated.
Okay.
Most people are really chronically dehydrated, which means that they're operating in a mode of feeling sluggish and not really recognizing it because they've been dehydrated for so long. Like, we're talking years. And so a lot of people with brain fog, a lot of people with like just general fatigue during the day, needs 2 or 3 coffees to get through the day. This is actually very simply dehydration. So you can take all these different supplements, like a multivitamin, your D vitamins, and fill in the blank, but you haven't gone to the root cause of why you're not feeling great, which is dehydration. So our product is a powdered electrolyte formula that essentially gives you all the minerals that you need that is no longer in water. I don't know if you know this, but the water in Dubai, and anyone listening, please listen up, the water in Dubai is not great because it's filtered like reverse osmosis, which means all the minerals are stripped out.
Yeah.
It's not water that hydrates you, it's the minerals in the water that hydrate you.
Interesting.
So you can drink 3 liters of water a day, but if you're not drinking 3 liters of like mountain alpine Swiss water or water with electrolytes, you're actually going to be dehydrated.
Interesting. And you've got some electrolytes.
I do have some here. Yeah, you just reminded me.
Because I take electrolytes in these powders, but I do it while I'm training, when I'm on the bike or when I'm running.
Sure, which is great.
But I never thought of it from a daily point of view.
And so there's the education aspect, right? There's where our company strives to, we never want to put our product in someone's hand without them understanding why they've wanted this product, right? So for example, like the key learning is, oh my gosh, I'm drinking water, but that water doesn't have minerals. Oh, I need minerals. Bing, light bulb goes off. So we want to be that company that explains that. And also, like you just said, you're taking it during exercise. That's great. But even if you don't exercise, you still need the minerals, right? So it's not, electrolytes, we're entering a very exciting time in the market where 5 years ago, if you asked someone about electrolytes, they thought, okay, when I'm hungover, I need that. Or when I'm exercising, I need that. And now there's this awareness. It's oh my gosh, I'm a human. I need that. Right. So we're looking at actually institutionalizing electrolytes as like the must-have. If you're alive and breathing, irrelevant of your exercise output, you need electrolytes.
Okay, so interesting. So the main supplement that you have is a powder that goes with water.
Yeah, exactly.
And so will you be launching with other supplements, or that's the core one to launch with?
Yeah, so we're a Dubai-based company, but we're a global company. Why I mention that is we know there's a huge problem here in Dubai and the Middle East with hydration, right? So first we're gonna just tackle that problem. We're problem solvers, right? So some of the problems that Humantra is directly gonna solve is dehydration, gut issues, and sleep. Those are the 3 products. Well, those are the 3 health issues that we intend to target with the help of some products, and of course education and lifestyle changes, because one doesn't work without the other. So hydration we're going to stay on until that really takes off. We hit a critical mass, which is a milestone we have, and once we have X amount of people subscribing and replenishing their electrolytes every month and raving about it and loving it, then we're going to introduce a secondary product.
Okay, interesting. Just tapping into what you said there, how does it impact sleep and also the gut as well?
The brand or hydration specifically?
Hydration specifically.
Yeah. Well, hydration, so if you're dehydrated, great question. If you're dehydrated and depleted in minerals, these minerals are essential for your brain function, which means at nighttime, you might feel like either a little anxiety or irritable, or you just might feel like it's very hard for you to power down. So by staying hydrated during the day, your sleep will be smoother during the night because you have more minerals to work with. Your body's in a state of calm. For gut health, there's not necessarily a direct link. That's why we're creating a product for gut health. But again, the body works all connected, right? If you're running low on electrolytes and water, your body's pulling energy from somewhere else, and that's exhausting. So
okay, so when you explain supplements, I kind of maybe assumptually thought that it was going to be tablets and a different form, but I also thought that it was going to be part of the behavior that people have when they have supplements is maybe to take it with some food in the morning or something like that. When they're taking water throughout the day, their behavior is different, and also the category. Business-wise, you think of it differently. You think of mineral water. You think of, okay, Nestle are supplying the water in the office. What's in that water? What's this stuff with sodium? What's this, like all these sort of questions. So, how do you think of that? Is it the responsibility of the general water suppliers to, is it our options that we have minerals there, or with Humantra?
Yeah, it's a great question. So. So there's that was a big question. I like it. One is with our product being a powder form and delicious. We're looking at a business point of view, right? So it's an easy product to test. It's not intimidating like a pill, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of times people see a pill like, oof, is that a drug? Is that a medicine? What's that going
What
to
am I
do?
putting into
You know,
me?
but
Yeah.
like a little stick pack and it tastes delicious. So the barrier to entry for an electrolyte is actually very low. Most people are willing to try it, even supplement skeptics. So we have a lot of converts already. So we launched a week ago.
Yeah.
We sold out.
Great.
So we were so proud. Our process, like we looked at our inventory, we took a couple of sales, and our feedback, like our shipping said, like you have no more inventory. Like okay, it's a problem, but it's a good problem to have. So the point where I'm going with that is that we had a lot of people respond to us and say, hey, I'm not into supplements, but I love this. And I was like, great, you know, because that shows how easy that product is to get people to try it, and through that possibly trust supplements. Of course, we don't want them to trust all supplements because some are, you know, scandalously marketed or not beneficial for their health. But that was a really great thing to see. Now, moving over to your second question, or the other part of your question, like about like Nestle water and the minerals and stuff, I think that there will always be misinformation and polarization, right, in the health. Like you can Google, is broccoli healthy, ? And like some people say, stay away from raw broccoli, you know, it's going to cause this. And then other people, it's like a superfood. So it's so confusing. And you'll see like water, and I'm not going to name any brands, but most bottled water will say like 0 sodium, like as if they're proud of 0 sodium. That's not a good thing.
Not a good thing.
You don't want 0 sodium in your water. You want sodium and potassium and magnesium and calcium. These are your electrolytes.
Yeah.
So by advertising proudly, like you see trucks driving by saying 0 sodium water, I'm like, no, you're confusing people, you know, that's not what you want.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
I hope that our brand can educate people enough so that when they see a bottle or a truck like that, they'll be like, no,
Yeah.
that's not good for me, you know? Instead of just thinking, they're marketing it, it has to be good. It's like, no, I'm an educated consumer now.
Okay.
And yeah. So,
Okay. So continue with that vein into the kind of category. So, okay, we tackled the water in the office and the water in our bottles every day. But from a sports point of view, if I'm taking electrolytes, and I know there's electrolytes in coconut water, but there's electrolytes supplement providers.
Yeah.
So that's another category.
Yeah.
Would you have thought, are you competing with that category? Are those categories not trying to get out of sports and into other categories?
Yeah, super good question. Okay, so here's again where we see, so I believe we're at the infancy of the electrolyte market.
Yeah.
But I think like a lot of supplements get their time in the spotlight, like turmeric had like 3 years, whereas like everyone on the planet needed turmeric, you know, and then ashwagandha and fish oil had its 3 years. Like it kind of goes in cycle. Again, been doing this for 20 years. You see the cycles, like, and you see the power of marketing too, you know. One blog about ashwagandha turns into this, and all of a sudden everybody wants ashwagandha. And electrolytes, it hasn't happened for electrolytes yet, and it's going to, which is why we're so excited that we're in this market. But that does leave still a huge gap in education. So for example, a lot of sport electrolytes are loaded with sugar. Right?
And they have this citric acid thing in them.
Yeah, I mean, citric acid isn't necessarily a bad thing, but there could be different stabilizers in there, or maltodextrin or dextrose, which is really bad, and that's in most of them, by the way. Like, I'm not going to mention brands, but most electrolyte formulas.
That's what we should look at on the labels.
Look, if it says dextrose, if it says maltodextrin, do not touch it. It's very gut disrupting, very gut disrupting, or artificial sweeteners. Isophane potassium, sucralose, all these things are going to disrupt your gut. So most of the athletic formulas for electrolytes are loaded with sugar, which could be okay for an athlete because you need the glucose, but is definitely not suitable for someone working in an office. They need the hydration, they need the electrolytes, they do not need the sugar. So unfortunately, you're going to see these sport-specific electrolytes trying to jump into the everybody needs electrolyte category, but they don't need your electrolytes. So the point is we are a brand that proudly says, we know for science has proven this, that you do not need sugar in electrolytes to make the electrolyte effective. That is a misconception. So our electrolyte has 0 sugar and 0 artificials. We sweeten with monk fruit, which is a 0-calorie fruit extract. It's delicious, actually.
Another trending stuff.
Probably, I'm sure monk fruit will get its time in the spotlight too. So the point is yes, we're going to see sport-specific companies trying to capitalize off this untapped market. But that's why I hope that Humantra can have this global massive reach saying, guys, yes, you're gonna see an Instagram ad with someone trying to sell you this sugar-filled electrolyte, telling you that you need to hydrate. You do need to hydrate, but you do not need all the sugar that comes with it.
Okay.
So,
and even they have sugar in that powder formula that's
most
included.
of them do. Yeah.
Interesting.
So one of the biggest sellers in the world, Liquid IV. I don't know if you've heard of them. So they absolutely crushed it with their marketing. They picked up, I think, 20 celebrity investors who all put in 500 grand for 5 million total, and they just had a successful exit of about $500 or $600 million.
Wow.
And their product didn't change for 5 years. It was like 11 grams of sugar and like smaller amounts of electrolytes, which is a very incomplete sugar-filled product. But they crushed it because they were the only one. They were the first in.
Wow.
They were the first ones who made electrolytes cool and not just for exercise, like kind of for lifestyle.
Yeah.
You've had a couple of copycats from now who actually are doing very well. But yeah, it's getting to be a slightly crowded, but most people are just copycatting each other's formulas.
Okay.
They're still doing the sugar.
Yeah. And Dave, how much of your supplement is recommended daily? How many packets are?
We've had, it tastes really good.
Okay.
It like ridiculous. I brought you a box. You'll see. Like it tastes really good. We've had some people who are not athletes say, "I'm drinking 4 a day. Is that okay?" Because it says on the box like 1 to 3, right?
Yeah.
So to answer your question, you need 1 a day.
Yeah.
Like that's your insurance policy. That's like, I'm not going to be dehydrated today.
Okay.
2 or 3 servings, we say, like for an active or like intense, like if you're thinking a lot. By the way, your brain takes a lot of potassium and magnesium, so you're actually depleting electrolytes just from the mental marathons we're running as entrepreneurs, or whatever it is that you're working hard. So 2, in my opinion, is ideal, but a lot of people are taking like 3 or 4, which is fine.
It doesn't
But
have
it's just,
any. It doesn't.
No, there's no negative effect. Like you can't have. There's certain vitamins that you definitely don't want to take too high of, but minerals like your potassium or magnesium, your body will balance it out.
These are things that you need.
Yeah.
Because I just remember when I was overtraining once, I got what do you call it?
Heart palpitations?
No,
or acid reflux.
Acid reflux.
Yeah, sure.
And I thought, and I really put it down to one particular product.
Interesting. Which were you taking a pre-workout?
And during, and I was taking a lot of it. It had a lot of citric acid in it, and it was a bit...
that could trigger. So things with high doses of citric acid could definitely trigger you for sure. Yeah.
Okay, but still on this sort of category, because I know it's a new company, but I know it's a big growing category, but I'm trying to get my head around it because it seems to me that a question is that why wouldn't you launch a drink? Why wouldn't you?
You mean like ready to drink?
Yeah.
Great question. That's in the pipeline.
Okay.
We considered, funny you ask, we considered doing that from day one. If you want the details, I think it's a good idea. In fact, when I say I'm speaking for our company, we believe that that's a great idea. But the stick packs, so supplements and new user adoption, you want as often as possible to make it as easy as possible for someone to try your product, right? If you're selling 5 pounds of protein, right? Someone's like, that's a commitment, that's like 200 dirham, or that's 72 servings. Like that's a big commitment. If I don't like it, but if you can give stick packs or trials, it makes it a lot easier for people to try. So our first format is 20 servings of stick packs. So it's so easy. You can, hey, try this, and 90% of people who try it are like, this is amazing, I'll buy that. So cans, we figured were about the same, but we're not in retail. We're a D2C company. Yeah. So our first goal is like, let's hit a critical mass of people who are saying, we love this product, we're replenishing the product, we're thrilled about the brand, we're behind you, and then say, okay, we're gonna make it even easier for you to get your hands on it. Now when you're at fill in the blank store, you can find it in the fridges there. So we will do that, and I'm glad you asked that question. We are very, I'm not going to say, we listen to our customers. So before we launch something, we want it validated, right? We're not just going to say, we think the world wants cans. So what we'll do is we'll hit our 1,000 first customers, which is happening quicker than we thought. And then we'll poll. We'll say, hey guys, like for all those of you in Dubai, how would you feel about ready to drink out of cans? Would you prefer cans or glass bottles? Because we're not going to do plastic, that's for sure. So we'll ask these questions, and then instead of assuming that the world wants this, we'll actually validate it. So that's the process that we're going to go through with probably most of our supplements as well. Is we'll literally ask our customers, say, hey guys, we're thinking about a sleep supplement. Like, just kind of feel it out. I think, and I've been a victim of doing this before with my past companies. You make assumptions. you launch something, but you really didn't validate enough. And then you realize, oh, not as many people are excited about that as I was. So the best thing you can do is get people who are like, as soon as you launch that, I'll buy it. Perfect.
Yeah.
Then make it.
Interesting. Yeah. But it sounds like you have thought of that, and your product is adaptable.
It's adaptable. Yeah.
As in, it's almost like, I think of it from media and mediums. If you have a media lens, then the content, the medium can change. It can be 100%. Text, audio, video, it can change.
Exactly.
And similar to this, it can be a supplement in a powder form, or it can be a drink off the shelf.
Exactly.
Because some of the, we've had a few companies like yours on the podcast. We mentioned off air there was Right, and people want to listen to that episode, and then Rockpool are doing aggregator on supplements and things like that. But then I'm thinking of others in the market, and sorry for mentioning them.
No, bring it up.
But there's like Vitamin Well, which is a bottle and a drink and things like that. And you know, by you being able to do that in the future, you're not sort of shoehorning yourself into one space.
100%.
It's a bit more fluid.
Exactly. We don't, and also on that topic, we don't want to pigeonhole ourselves into a hydration brand.
Yeah.
Because we're not. However, we are a brand that went to market with a industry-leading hydration product, but we also have to be mindful. Is like, okay, that's not all we are, right?
Yeah.
So we've all in our marketing, you'll see in our language, we are the company that provides you with the essential foundation that you need via supplements, and that means multiple products. So we're keeping the door open to, we're going to have more products, but this is what this is our rock star right now.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. I want to ask you about running a business, but firstly, why do you think there is such a problem necessarily in the supplement industry? Is it to do with legacy? Is it, you know, the big pharmas? Like, why have we got to the stage where it needs these new solutions and disruption?
Yeah, I think the same thing goes for the nutrition. It's easy to confuse people. It's easy to mislead. Sadly, people's health it's such a sensitive subject. And since we weren't taught, like I wasn't taught in school how to take care of my body. I wasn't taught about what gut health is, or you know, stomach bacteria, or none of this, right? So if you don't know this, you have no idea how to take control of your health. You have no idea. So you're very easily manipulated. So it becomes very easy to tell, like, for example, weight loss is the best example. Like there is no such thing as a fat burner. Like, mark my words, if there was, there would be no overweight people, right? Yeah. There is no such thing as a fat burner. There is thermogenics, right? Which could maybe heat up your body, which means stress out your body a little bit. And then your metabolism is slightly higher, but it's honestly no different than coffee at the end of the day in the long run, right?
Okay.
So, but it's, if you sell a thing and you say, hey, this will make you lose 10 pounds, people are going to buy it because they have no idea. They're like, oh my God, magic pill, 10 pounds. I need that gone. So that unfortunately has been the go-to strategy, which means hook people with a bold claim and then sell them something that kind of doesn't work and then blame it on their lifestyle. Well, it's because you didn't do this, you know? So it's like, that's the problem. And because it's easy to make money doing that, most companies operate like that. That was more of the past. Moving into, like, you know, 2020, I feel there's been a very positive shift in the past several years. If I look at the supplement industry now versus 10 years ago, there's equally crap companies that are, you know, misleading and scandalous marketing and don't sell good products, but there's a couple brands that are doing really good things. And so you can see that there's this more health coaches are starting supplement companies rather than business-minded investors. Yeah. Because they don't care, they don't know about health. Yeah. So when a health coach starts a supplement company, there's a much better chance that they create products that actually are going to help their clients. Yeah,
interesting. Yeah. And you obviously saw the health industry from being involved in it. How have you ended up choosing supplements as opposed to the fitness academy, and follow on how you ended up in Dubai?
Great question.
Or doing it here.
So supplements for me it's a very personal thing, because when I had cancer, I had testicular cancer, I declined chemo and radiation. I said, no, I'm not doing that. My father actually, he died from cancer. And my brother had cancer too. It was crazy. So every man in my family had cancer. Long story short, I was not going to go through chemo and radiation. In order to be able to avoid that, because the cancer wasn't 100% gone, I had to learn everything about, like, immune boosting and plant healing. I was, like, injecting vitamin C. I was taking these mushrooms from, like, the Amazon. I was, like, doing everything to boost my immune system. And through that, first, it worked, right? That's like, amazing. I can't say it worked. There's no supplement that worked. Changing my lifestyle and changing my way of eating completely boosted my immune system to the point where it could fight cancer itself.
Wow.
Or the remaining cancer. I had a surgery, of course. But the point being is like I learned that there are so many things out there that can help fortify our system that I'm like, I want people to know about this, right? I want you to know that when you're sick, you don't have to take antibiotics. You can take this, tincture. You can take this flower herb. You can take this. And through that, it just empowers you to say, okay, if there's something wrong with my body, there's something that can help me fix this. It doesn't necessarily have to be a drug or a prescription, or I can figure this out myself. Amazing. Or even better, I can figure out how to not get sick. Like, I haven't been sick in probably a decade.
Amazing.
No.
Congrats.
Yeah, thank you.
But it's to do with that lifestyle shift, but also strong immune system, basically.
Yes, strong immune system through lifestyle and supplementation. There's the nature of the world we live in right now is so high pressure, a lot of toxicity, that the food supply isn't giving us what we need anymore to really be super, super healthy. So supplements can really help, but they have to be the right ones.
Yeah. But you're Canadian, you mentioned, and you're living in Thailand. You're getting healthy, and now you're here.
It's been a long journey. So I left Canada when I was like 23, moved to LA, became like a celebrity trainer. That's where that's where things really connected with my entrepreneurial self. I created a fitness machine that I had a semi-successful exit from, traveled the world for 5 years, ended up in Bali and Brazil, then Thailand finally. And Thailand, I was bouncing between there and Hong Kong, and got the idea to start a supplement company because I was doing workshops and seminars and talking about supplements, and they would sell out the next day because everybody who was doing the workshop with me, they'd all go out and buy that supplement. And I was like, oh, okay. So educate. And then sell. That's been my flow. Is you educate to the I didn't know I needed that. Okay, well, so problem, solution. And once you could do that at scale, then you have a great. So educate, sell. That's my business model.
Of something that you know what you're talking about.
Yes, exactly. With the best interest of the client. This product, if you buy it, will help you get healthier. That for me is a very successful and fulfilling journey.
So you came to Dubai 2.5 years ago. How have you found, is this one of the things that you thought that you needed more supplements of, or how have you found your lifestyle here different to where else you've lived?
More dehydrated. As soon as I moved, so in Thailand we actually have very good water. And I was drinking 3 liters a day, 4 liters a day, as someone sweating in Thailand would, and never had an issue. As soon as I moved to Dubai, I'm looking at the different waters. I'm like, oh, this one has no minerals. This one's 0 sodium. And I'm like, my God, I have to buy like 4 bottles of San Pellegrino, to survive here. And so
is San Pellegrino a good one?
It is a good one. Okay. San Pellegrino is a great one. Yes.
Okay.
And the local company New Water. They're great too. So anyways, these are waters high in minerals. I realized that big city living has a very specific set of challenges, right? You're inside, so your vitamin D is low. You're exercising and you're drinking the wrong water, so you're dehydrated. Or you're under artificial light all day, so you're dehydrated. So big city living had very different challenges than Thailand and other, tropical area living I've been doing. And so that did help me craft more mindset for supplements for the city goers.
Interesting. So you're here now and you're starting this business, and we kind of mentioned, but you will have different pivots, and you mentioned the 5-year plan and changing. How much sort of pressure is it per se to sort of get people involved in the idea, but tell them something that you're going to follow? And commit to. I'm really asking about investments and fundraising and these type of things.
Great question. So here the blessing that I have is that my partners in this are so smart and so switched on and so skilled and experienced in taking a company first to $1 billion level, which they've done, but also looking at strategic ways to grow our brand. I'm the nerd that makes really good supplements. That's me. So I'm not going to, I have a vision of what Humantra has to accomplish for the customer. I know how a customer has to feel when they buy Humantra, when they're part of Humantra. I don't know what strategically that's going to look like in 3 to 5 years. That's up to the really smart guys. So I'm in charge. Like basically I'm staying in my lane. I used to try to do everything, and now I'm staying in my lane. I'm saying, you know what? I'm really good at making great supplements and caring about people's health. I'm not really good at, or I haven't yet built $1 billion company, but these guys have.
Okay.
So I'm gonna let them, lead on that, maintaining the vision and the integrity.
Okay.
And I think that if we can all play nicely, which we do, then we can create something extraordinary.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. But with the vision parts, like it is to do with product selection, how much funds to raise, which markets to go after.
Yeah.
And those type of things.
The
hard questions.
Yeah, well, I wish the other guys were here, because that's their language. That's their language, exactly.
Yeah.
Like I could give my input on that, but honestly, I just know that that's their thing.
That's their thing.
Yeah.
But you're a good communicator. I imagine that you will be the face of the company.
Yes.
And you will manage the team.
Yeah.
And that sort of stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And maybe do fitness coaching for people as well to keep
we're actually building a community of the guys who do the fitness.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my role more as like the community manager. On a big scale, like I'm really bringing the family together, the community.
Okay.
And then I'll let the business guys do the business thing.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, but you have, I'm pushing you on this, but you have traveled the world.
Yeah.
Where do you think the opportunities are? Obviously in Dubai for this type of thing, but if you were to tell them as well, like, do you like this region? Do you like Asia?
There is huge growth in Southeast Asia now. Huge in Vietnam. Thailand's had the pandemic changed a lot of things. Like it took a lot of people's disposable income away, especially in Southeast Asia. But there is so all supplement companies are focused on America. To me, that's a mistake, right? So you're competing for attention in a market, which means your ad spend, your customer acquisition costs are going to be a nightmare. I think that there's so many smaller micro climates. Even Australia, for example, is a great one. But I think the main thing is have a very strong online game. Be good online. That's the key. Yeah.
How do you be good online, or how have you been successful online in the past?
We're lucky because we have a great product. So because we have everybody sharing our product. When someone takes our product, they're on Instagram. We haven't paid 1 cent in marketing, 1 cent. We have not paid one influencer, and every day it's popping in like, oh, they're tagging you, they're trying. It's amazing. So I think first to have a great product that people want to show off. That's a big one.
Yeah.
So does your product have that cred where someone wants to say, hey, look what I'm doing, Or is it kind of like, ooh, shameful, I don't want people to see this, Because there are some supplements where you're like, okay, I'll put that in the bedside counter, I'm not going to bring that out. So like this is a very share-worthy product. But other than that, I think the most important thing, to create this virality is have a mission that people want to get on board on. Like, don't shout about your company, shout about your clients. Like, what are you going to do for your clients? I think that, again, coming from a coaching perspective, my fulfillment and my success comes from my clients' results. It doesn't come from me talking about myself, right? I didn't have a business card my entire coaching, personal training life ever. So your clients are your best fans, are your best marketing. So
So similar approach to before with good results, basically.
It's all about results. Yeah.
Interesting. And some of the technical things then, what do you think is important with this type of business in terms of customer service, technology, or what are the things that you do first and you kind of go, well, we'll tackle that when we get to it? Great
question. I mean, I'm huge on customer experience, right? We have a really great guy on board, Charlie, who connected us here. Thank you, Charlie. Who is just like, he is so good at flawless customer experience. What does that mean? From the time someone lands on your website to the checkout process, that first of all, it's very easy and intuitive, and that they feel like we're real. So for example, I have my WhatsApp number on our checkout. Amazing. My WhatsApp number, right? And so like that, because what I want to do for the first, until I can't handle it, I want to know, what is someone experiencing on our website? If they have a problem, what is that problem? So I can real time, phone up my marketing team and say, hey guys, look, people are confused because we're not showing this, or we didn't explain this till 3 folds down, we should have explained it. So I think communication with your customer to let them know you're real, that to me, that's personal, right? That's how I feel my customers are gonna feel taken care of. Like Instagram, we have like a 10 to 15 minute response time, like that, and so I think show your customers you care.
Yeah.
And that to me is everything.
And would you? Yeah, that's amazing. But if you scale that, do you think you will, bring in the software as a service products?
Yeah, we're gonna have. We're absolutely. I mean, we have like Klaviyo, we have Gorgeous, we have a couple different that we're playing with. But yes, absolutely, we're gonna subscribe to whatever SaaS services are going to give us the best customer experience.
Amazing. Yeah. And we're coming into a new year, 2022. Dave, what are your resolutions for Humantra?
Resolutions for Humantra. I think that for me, this is personal, but it's learning to be a better leader in my workspace. Because I know that will leak into the culture, the customers will end up feeling that, right? So I think for me it's like leadership in the mindset of Humantra being a leader to others as well. Yeah,
amazing. Yeah. And to finish, you mentioned $1 billion company valuation. Not that I'm holding you to that, but I just want to understand: how do you believe that it's possible to create something like that starting in Dubai?
Great question. I think that Dubai is an underrated market. I think Dubai is global. So people think of Dubai as a city. I think of it as like it's a mini country, right? First, what do I mean by that is there are so many different nationalities of people who aren't from here. And so they're calling their friends and family back home and say, hey, I'm trying this product. So there's this virality factor that you can't get anywhere else. Like if I'm selling in America to Atlanta, no one outside of Atlanta is going to hear about that. But if I'm selling to Dubai, people in UK are going to hear about it. People in Australia are going to hear about it. People in America are going to hear about it.
They spill over.
Yes. So this to me is the smartest strategic especially for a replenishable good like we have. I think it's the smartest sandbox. We test here, we perfect here, and then once we have 10,000 reviews and we have our supply chain rock solid, then and our cost of goods go down because we have a higher volume, then we can play in US against the big boys who are spending $1 million a week on advertising for Google AdWords. You can't do that anywhere else, I don't think.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Good note to finish on. Thanks very much for your time today, and we look forward to trying the product and following the journey.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
Cheers.
Hey guys, I'm Richard Fitzgerald. This is Dubai Works, where we interview the business leaders making a difference in this great city.
That business with scalability was very interesting to me.
I like building something that has legacy.